Alrighty, guys. So, seems like Kanye West is having a bit of a meltdown. It's not the first time. I don't know what's going on with him, but I do have a video for you today. Before we get into that, I do have a new song out. It's called Routine Maintenance. Like I said in the last video, appreciate it if you go check it out. Donations, socials are at the top of the video. This video is called I Can't Defend Ye Anymore by FLWRS. Uh, yeah, Kanye's been going through it. He's been going through it. But I want to see why this person, feels like they can't defend him anymore if it hasn't been obvious. So let's go ahead and get into it, please.
George Bush doesn't care about black people. Please call.
In the past few days,
it's time, yo. We cannot ignore the yay-sized elephant in the room anymore. I know some of y'all were hoping he'd snap out of it, but his most recent actions have made it even more difficult for even his most diehard fans to weather that storm. This has been a long time coming, and unfortunately, I gotta admit something that a lot of people don't like to. A man that I was a fan of, a person I looked up to who inspired me, has now become an issue.
Brother, I am unbelievably hurt by the fact that you have morphed into something, to me, that's not real.
I love Kanye growing up. The College trilogy is his best work, full stop. Put it in the Smithsonian. When Kanye dropped College Dropout in 2004, I was 8 years old. To this day, it remains one of my favorite Kanye projects, possibly off of nostalgia, but I think it's just timeless music. We Don't Care gave out the same vibes as Jaheim's Fabulous, instant classic. When I heard All Falls Down, even as a kid, I felt the words. 8 years later, after that, I'm working in retail, I felt the words on Spaceship. The sample on Slow Jams with Jamie Foxx.
Say she wants some Marvin Gaye, some Luther Vandross, a little of me.
And hearing him persevere and literally spit through the wire. And then when I wanted to pursue producing, I resonated with his story on Last Call. I feel like every beat maker and producer can. Do y'all know how hard it is to sell beats? I bring all this up.
Yeah, and I do my own beats as well, so I do understand where he's coming from. But I didn't really listen to any of like Ye's older music, like through and through. Of course, I've probably heard a few songs here and there. I just don't know the names because it's just passing by. But I can definitely say the songs that I did hear, they definitely helped me with my own production, what I would do with my songs. And I do kind of have a heavy influence off of Kanye. I would say more like Tyler the Creator do I have more of an influence off of. But other than that, I haven't listened to any of this stuff. I don't think I'd go back and listen to it. I don't really want to give him money, to be honest with you, with the way he's acting right now. Let the classics be the classics. If people enjoyed them for what they were in the period of time, fine. I'm not going to say, oh, you just got to completely just throw them out. But, it's up to you if you want to keep listening to him or not. For me, not the way he's acting right now. If he shows some redeeming qualities, sure. But for right now, no.
Up because I want to mitigate the you just don't like him discourse, because it's quite the opposite. I know some people have a hard time listening though. The most common defense I hear is separate the art from the artist, basically talking about he made Graduation. That doesn't really work for Ye because he and his music are basically one entity at this point. And it's just backwards thinking. Let's take the phrase separate art from the artist from Google. It reads evaluating a piece of art based on its own merits without being influenced by the artist's personal actions or beliefs, even if those actions or beliefs are problematic. Let's just take a look at the order of operations here.
So back in like high school, I kind of had the same idea. I was always about separating the art from the artist. Those two are intertwined. Make sure to look at this way, look at this that way. But I soon begin to like realize that you have to take in consideration that it's coming from that person. You wouldn't have this specific type of art this specific type of product without this person. They put something into it to make it. So we have to understand that there is no separation there.
Evaluating the piece of art based on its own merits. That is not what happens with Ye. People often defend him because of the art he made. Again, that's backwards. You cannot excuse away making these shirts with Good Life featuring T-Pain. Nah. And I know there's still, even now, a bit of hope in a couple of people out there. So let me hold your hand when I say this part. He's gone. This man right here does not exist anymore. I know it's difficult to let him go. And there's often an immediate urge to protect one of our people when we're being scrutinized in the media, because if we don't defend each other, who will?
Right. And we kind of touched that a little bit in the last video about, supporting each other, supporting, even just if it's just black businesses or just people around you, local community, supporting them when you actually see them getting success, and rather than just tearing them down. But the thing is with that is that you have to understand that there's other people out there who make similar music. We touched this in my early episodes and videos. You have to understand there's other people who make songs like that. Same thing with Drake. There's other people who make even better songs in this more underground scene. There's other people who do the same thing and do it better. So you don't have to fully rely on Kanye for these things. You can go and support another artist who, isn't doing the deplorable actions that he is doing right now, because he let those things get to his head. Just because it got to his head does not mean everybody else is going to let it get to theirs.
When I say us, obviously, I mean black people. We get this feeling of, if I don't stand up for my brother, then who's going to stand up for me when I'm under fire? And sometimes that's warranted. Sometimes it's not. And that feeling doesn't make you a bad person. You could just be misinformed. Maybe you don't have all the info. But it is straight up irresponsible to know the information and to believe that his actions outside of his music do not matter. Either way, the best practice is to always look deeper into a situation before defending someone, because you could be setting yourself up for failure. And that goes double if you are a particularly prideful person or stubborn, which we have plenty of on the internet. You can present someone with all the information in the world, and because of pride, they will not budge. They've already attached their horse to that wagon. So now if they backtrack even a little bit, they have to admit that they were wrong, and that makes them feel less than, makes them feel stupid. And they don't want to feel stupid because they're too prideful to admit that they didn't know all the information or that they were wrong. So instead, they're going to move the goalposts over and over and over again, but draw new lines in the sand for their favorite person to cross until we get exactly where we are, which is here. At this point, you are extremely suspect to me if you're defending this man. Because again, justify this for me.
Wait, has anyone ever seen Jay-Z and Beyonce's younger kids? Not like literally. That is why artificial insemination is such a blessing. If Twitter take my shit down, then so be it. But I need y'all to know Jay-Z or nobody have no power over me. I'm a Nazi. I love Hitler. Now, call me Adolf Hitler. Hitler was so fresh. I love when Jewish people come to me and say they can't work with me anymore. It's my fave.
What about this? The clothing, the tweets, and who he hangs out with. We're going to ignore 3 different things because of his past work. Look at who you're aligning yourself with.
I'm here with my white supremacist homeboy, Nick. We back.
Yeah, and the fact that he has the SWAT sticker chain. No. And people who may try to defend it and say, oh, well, it originally was a Buddhist symbol, just stop. Because all this is attention-seeking behavior. You have a new project coming, and this is what you choose to do. You could have just promoted the project normally and just let it be that and just drop it. You don't have to go to these lengths to do these things. You don't got to call out groups of people to do these things. You don't have to be anti-Semitic. You don't have to be racist to just promote a project. You know, you're basically billionaire. You don't have to do these crazy things to get the most traction for your project. You just promote it, and then that's it. You know, people are going to listen to your music regardless. Even with you acting the way you are right now, people are still listening to your music. Not as much as you could have had, because if you just would have normally did what you did instead of doing this attention stuff, you probably would have had a better grasp. And I have no idea if you're going to be honest in your album. I don't know, but I'm not going to listen to it. And I feel like a lot of people are like, you know, with the same idea. A lot of people are not going to listen to it. Not the way you're acting. You know, this is just attention seeking, and you're trying to fill something, you know, that's empty inside yourself. So no, I'm just not gonna be okay with green lighting your actions.
Also, I'm gonna put this on the table. Black Kanye fans don't defend him the same way or for the same reasons as non-black, mostly white fans do. They don't usually bring up the college trilogy. That's not what they like Kanye West for. They're usually gonna start around the time of Yeezus and onward, and that in itself is not an issue. That's cool. But I feel it's important to place on the timeline in which you became a Kanye fan, because did you become a fan before or after the overt anti-Semitism? Please take a look at this very accurate illustration here. If you fall here in this area, I have a couple of questions. If you weren't born yet, for the most part, you get a pass. What song exactly made you a fan? What is your favorite album? And what moment made you a fan? I will judge you off of this. Whether you care about my judgment or not is up to you. And are you still a fan of Kanye West? Not the music. Are you a fan of Ye? Again, look at
I think the song that really caught my attention was not sure if it's called "Stretch My Hands" or "Father Stretch My Hands." I'm not sure specifically what it's called, but you know, that song, that's what really got my attention. You know, in helping me develop myself as an artist. But I don't know where that falls under. However, it's still the same point of you don't have to try to be so outward, because we know you can make good music. Like, everybody understands that. It's just we want you to improve upon that. You don't have to keep degressing, stepping back, attention seeking just to promote this.
at who you are aligning yourself with. Do you think this man believes Ye's actions don't matter, or do you think he knows exactly what he represents and that's why he's around him? Subsequently, either you believe that Ye isn't intelligent enough to know that Nick sees him at the very least as a partner that can help him achieve his goals, or Ye knows exactly who he is and he's okay with being around him as long as it keeps eyes on Ye. Which one is worse to you? I will let you choose. They're both bad, because I know for a fact that Nick knows exactly when he sees an ally.
Like, that was a serious Roman. It wasn't even like a subtle, like a wave, like one of these, like a
His actions are dangerous because they give people like this credence. Ye is inseparable from his music. But even if you use that mantra, separate the art from the artist, defend the music, because it's impossible to defend him. And I don't think it's responsible to dismiss the harm that he's doing simply because he made college dropout, or because he made graduation or late registration. I want to say again, you are not a bad person because you like Kanye West. The same way you're not a good person because you listen to a certain artist. No one can make you a good person. No one can make you a bad person. Only you can do that. The issue lies in where you justify listening to that artist. I will be listening to Bully and giving a full review on it. And I do think there's an argument to...
Now, I would go in for artists specifically when it comes to me not listening to them. What I will do is I'll choose to go to a streamer or someone like that, or a YouTuber, and I watch them either break it down or I watch them just listen to it just to see how it sounds from not a direct monetization point. So I rather do it that way rather than actually going and actually giving those people that money. For instance, you know, like Playboy Cardi and like Kanye West. So I would go and listen to someone else, listen to those things. So yeah, I'm not gonna listen to his album unless one of my streamers that I watch on a regular basis actually are listening to him. Now I'll take a listen, and then I'm probably going to bring it back to you guys, and then tell you kind of a generalization of how I feel. But other than that, no, I'm not going to go listen to it.
To be made that as a music YouTuber, obviously I won't be able to judge the music unless I hear the music. But on the other hand, listening to the music supports the person that you don't agree with. Love to hear your thoughts. Please put them down below. Please keep them as civil as you can. I didn't call nobody no names. Okay, I didn't say nothing like that. Keep it P, keep it G, and please think about if are you defending the music because of the man, or the man because of the music. So yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts. Please put them down below. If you stuck around this long, I appreciate you. If you are new here,
Yep, shout out to Flowers for the video. Very good video. But yeah, not really gonna listen to Kanye, so unless one of my streamers are watching him, I'll come back to you guys and tell you how I feel about it. But other than that, I'll see you guys later.